How's it going, everybody? I'm on a roll right now, so you're going to see me take full advantage of this energy that I have going right now. I want to get to Carlene Francis. I did not forget about you, Carlene, okay? About the video when we were speaking about the Decanates, when I did a video not too long ago about the expressions of love when people with elemental qualities are in love, whether that's mutable, whether that's fixed, or whether that's cardinal. And you had asked me if the decanates of the sun sign influence those emotions. And, I had to do some research, of course. I want to make sure I give you the best answer that I possibly can. And come to find out, yes, you are right. It is definitely influential in those expressions of love. So this is how I knew. I had to test it on both ends so that I didn't, approach this thing biasly. So what I did was I reflected on my personal experiences, and then I based it upon observation as well within a person that I dealt with, right? So this is how I knew. I'm going to begin with me. As a Pisces sun sign, I have a Cancer decadent. So a lot of the times I go in between the motions of being a Pisces and a Cancer a lot, right? So what happened with me is, and I took time to reflect on this because I thought about when I was younger, right? Because this is how Cancers operate, right? Cancers are real close to the people that they do hold dear and they do hold close. They're real close to, and if you cross them, that's it. It's done. Like this, I'm talking about you got to cross them though. Like not no play. If you cross them, that's it, right? So I reflect on my younger years, and I'm like, wow, I was really out there for my crew, for my people, for my friends. Like those same people that were my friends then are my friends now. Like it didn't matter how long of a time that I spent away from these people. If you were to ask me right now who my friends are, I'm mentioning those names, right? So, I do have new friends and stuff like that as well. However, what I found out is this is how I was able to determine the difference between being a Cancer and being a Pisces. Because as I expressed in the mutable signs, which I also share with Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgo, right, is, for a Pisces, we can be in love with not just a person. We can be in love with the things that we encounter and the things that we experience, right? And, it's that mutable energy. However, with when we're dealing with sun signs now, so we're narrowing it down to the particular things of love. And that has more to do with people, loving people, significant others, right? So with the Cancer, it's like, I can remember myself being smothering of my friends, very protective over my friends to the point where it became smothering. And what happened in the process is I gave a lot of myself away. I gave too much of myself away. It became a detriment to myself. So in that process is where I had to get back to being a fish and swimming and being more mutable, because the focus was too intense. I was moody as a youngin'. I was very moody, and I actually participated in drug use because I couldn't feel, right? So it's like, I have a Virgo ascendant, by the way. So I think that's what makes me so anal that, I used to think like maybe I'm too perfect in the world. And that's what made me become a little mischievous, because I was like, let me go and get in cahoots with everybody else and get into something that's like dangerous, or, you know what I mean? And that's when my Pisces curiosity led into that, or whatever the case may be. And, still, I say that to say this, that Cancer energy stuck with me. And to this day, like if someone crosses me, like crosses me, I'm not talking about no petty stuff. Like if you cross me the wrong way and I really know, then I'm just like, forget about it. You know what I mean? And it's really not that deep of an issue as other people may view it, or whatever the case may be. But it's like me, I'm just like, let's leave it as it is, because it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's way out of line to this point. It's reached the extent to where let's just part ways. You know what I mean? And I realized that I possess those qualities. I'm also very nurturing. You know what I mean? Naturally, and Pisces are like that anyway. You know what I mean? But because I have a Cancer decadent, I'm really like that. And people take that for granted. Like, people learn how to take advantage of that. And, that's how sometimes people used to say that, I'm moody or whatever the case may be, because I'll act like so nice and, encouraging one moment, and then the next minute I realize you're trying to play me, and then it turns the other way, and then you're like, oh, well, I can't even be around, and I don't know how to gauge this person. You understand what I'm talking about? And that comes with people taking advantage of how much they know that I can care about a person. Because you can ask anybody, people who know me, people who are close to me and grew up with me, they know, like, when it comes to my friends, like, anything, shirt off my back, whatever I knew, I was teaching them, I was showing them, I was putting them on to what I knew. Wherever I could obtain finances at, I was putting them on to that. And to this day, like, people who looked out for me back then, even as I grew, I found that there weren't always opportunities for me to return that favor, because I had to go through life's lessons. However, at the same time, please believe that when I do get the opportunities to pay them back, I do. I don't want to get all deep into my personal dealings or whatever the case may be. However, this is what I need to tell you, to express to you, like, yes, these decanates do influence the way that we behave when we are in love with people. To narrow it down to the significant others, I would say it's a balance with me between being a Pisces and a Cancer, because I think that one time, because I explained it to someone when I was talking to them, like, for me, it only took one time to be hurt, and then that's when I was like, forget the whole thing. Like, I'm approaching this relationship thing from a whole new angle, right? And I think now that I reflect on this, that it may have something to do more with the Cancer decadent than it does with the Pisces sun sign. You know what I mean? And I think that it's relative to what I read about Cancers, that it's difficult for them to find a soulmate. And I just said this in a last video that I did with Cancer man and Taurus woman, that Cancer men can be found either going back to their ex-girlfriends, or leaving that situation, or struggling to get in another situation that was similar to that, because they cannot no longer find that soulful connection. So it's difficult to find a soulmate, and I can relate to that. And as I said in the video before, the ambition, the drive is what brings the Cancer man out of that and says, listen, I need to find someone who matches this drive to, advance me. Like, I don't need the old relationship anymore. I know that now. So what I need to do is advance, so I can find that soulful connection, that soulmate that's out there for me. You understand what I'm talking about? And then they feel the how should I say it? They feel encouraged. They feel confident in expressing that nurturing love or that nurturing care for someone else again, because they feel like they've made it. They've accomplished something more, so they deserve it. Right? So what also happened is I used this one example with a person I was involved with, and I said, well, let me look at her sun sign and see what's going on, right? And her decanates. Oh, rather quickly, before I go any further, right? Decanates, there's 30 degrees in a sign. For those who are just tuning in or been watching, there's 30 degrees in a sign. The first 10 degrees, let's say you're a Virgo. The first 10 degrees belong to the sign of Virgo, right? The next 10 degrees belong to the sign Capricorn. So if you got like 14 degrees, if your sun sign is 14 degrees Virgo, you're more than likely going to express yourself like a Capricorn more than even a Virgo, okay? And then the last 10 degrees belong to a Taurus, all right? So, as I said before, my decanates fall in Cancer, and the person that I'm about to speak about now, their decanates fell in Virgo. And now that I reflect on this too, like, I can see how they had a balance between their sun sign and the decanates as well. However, I did see how they tried to express love using their decanates. But see, the difficult thing about this I found is, because their decanates are in Virgo, to me, and you get in the comment box if you agree or you don't agree, to me, Virgos are not the best people at expressing love. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't. I'm just telling you what I know, right? So I can identify when they were using Virgo traits, and what they were doing was, it was more like an observation. Like I was being surveyed, I was being observed, or I was taking a test. It felt like, you know what I mean? Now that I reflect on it, I see that I was taking a test. Then I didn't know. So this is an interesting video for me because I'm learning too. Then I didn't know. Now I reflect and I see the many situations that I will put into. I see the balance because a Taurus will plan something, right? So all of a sudden now I'm in the close vicinity of close friends and associates, because Virgos are more reserved and shy. So I seen these environments that were like predetermined for me, that I found myself in around either family members or close friends, like girlfriends and stuff like that. And me, I failed the test, to be honest with you, because when I'm in situations like that, this is where the Pisces peaks, and I'm like, what is this, a sleepover, or is this a slumber party? Like, I ask questions like this because I'm serious, like I'm really genuinely being me, not knowing that I'm being surveyed, because this person is expressing their love through a Virgo tendency. You know what I mean? And it's weird because it's really analytical and it's going to be critical. So, of course, I heard about it afterwards each time it happened. However, I still didn't know that these were setups. I was being set up, you know what I mean? Until I started doing research for this video. And as I said, it makes it kind of difficult. This probably is not the best example because Virgo is the decanate that I'm using from the significant other. However, I also this is one thing that I can say is more concrete when it comes to a Virgo decanate, is that, this person does do things for me. You understand what I'm talking about? Like, there's no hesitation or whatever. When they want to do something for me, they do it for me. However, then again, when it comes to Virgos, right? Virgos are service people. Like, they can't help it. I've seen Virgos help you right in your face, and in the same breath be critical of you and like rip you apart with their mouth. I've seen it. So it's really difficult to gauge if a Virgo loves you or not by doing something that is a kind gesture. That's who they are. That's what they embody. So perhaps I have to take a deeper look into this if you guys think that we need a deeper understanding of how this decadent thing works. However, that was what I came up with. So I guess we're really weighing in on minds more than anything. So I did mention some things about the Cancer decadent. However, I feel like I might have repeated myself a couple of times, and there's more to it. What else is about Cancer? Cancer man. Okay, well, this is one thing that I could say about my Cancer decadent as well: expressing it in love. Because I have an ambition for finances, right? It pushes me away from the many networks that I could have. Those opportunities, my networks can be larger, and it's because I have to recharge my batteries. And again, that's a balance between Pisces and Cancer too. Like, I have to recharge my batteries to make sure I'm the optimal self, and I don't like spending on my money. Like, I'm not with that. Okay, like, I'm really not with that. Like, I will spend some money, however, it has to be for a purpose. You understand what I'm talking about? And it doesn't matter how much money I get. It doesn't matter how much money I have. If I don't have to spend it, there's no need to spend it. Like, you understand what I'm talking about? And that's relative to the Cancer energy as well. Pisces is more carefree with the finances. Like, and I've experienced that more as a child. Like, more of a Cancer friend as far as expressing love, and more of a Pisces when it came to spending the money. Like, I'm taking my friends to the club. I'm paying for everybody to get in. I'm paying for all the bottles. I will come home broke. That's how it was then. And then compared to now, as I said, life's challenges come, and Saturn will smack you. I don't care who you are. Saturn one day will smack you. And that's pretty much what happened. That's another video. I'm going off a little bit much, but Carlene, I wanted to update you, let you know that I did not forget you. And yes, decanates are influential in expressing love through sun signs. I'm out.
something I can't lose. You too exclusive. Keep you secluded until you elude it, and the reaper removes it. It's deeper than music. Now I need a toothpick to remove pubics. Call me a square, just configure the